So I'm gonna make this quick and simple. I haven't posted YouTube videos in a while now. I've been very busy with work, schoolwork, um, and a multitude of things. Trying to juggle that along with training and working out often, and setting all my goals. YouTube has just been on the back and it's not set as the highest priority at the moment. So soon I will come back to uploading a lot more. So you've started your self-improvement journey. You've started these personal habits that improve your life and you want to change as a person. Maybe you have changed as a person. Maybe it's a dramatic change, maybe it's small steps. Maybe you used to be someone that's very different and now you don't even relate to who you were back a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever, right? What I've found out is with goal setting and with really anything you want to achieve in life, any habits that you want to set and any habits that you want to break, it comes down to one big thing, and that's identity. You've probably heard this before in class or something. There's a really popular saying, I guess if you can call it that, where someone asks the guy who's trying to quit smoking, "Do you want a cigarette?" And the guy who's trying to quit smoking says, "Oh, well, I'm trying to quit." That is him saying, "Well, I do smoke cigarettes and I'm trying to quit." That's him attaching his identity to a smoker and saying, "I am trying to change." Instead, what he should say is, "I don't smoke." That is when he has become the person who doesn't smoke at all. So what you find out is basically through self-improvement, through achieving goals, through setting things up and then following through with them, you essentially change your identity. You don't change the things you do, you change the person you are, and the things you do are kind of a byproduct. And they kind of work in hand together, right? So if you say to yourself, "I want to work out every day for the next year," like I want to work out every day, I want to be someone who is active and works out often. Right now, you are not that person. And if you work out once every week, you are definitely not that person. The moment your action identifies and aligns with your identity, you have become that person. So for example, if you tell yourself, yeah, I work out, and you go to the gym maybe once or twice a week, every once in a while, like you go once a week and then you take 2 weeks off, and then you go twice a week and then you take 3 weeks off, the people at the gym don't know you. And your family members don't know you as someone who works out because they see no evidence of it. So you're lying to yourself. And when you become this person is when you literally go work out, when you work out every day. And the moment that you've worked out every day for a long period of time, you've consistently become who you've been telling yourself you want to become, or who you've been trying to become, right? So it's the same thing with money. It's the same thing with a certain body fat percentage you're trying to make, or goals in the gym. Any type of goal, really. I recommend you guys attach part of your identity to it because it's extremely powerful. This can get dangerous, so be careful of like how you do this, because you will reach a point where you beat yourself up for things. So let's say I am someone who works out every day. Every day for at least 15 minutes I exercise. One day I don't work out. And this is something that will happen a lot with friends. Your friends will tell you, "Oh, what? So you don't work out anymore? You don't work out anymore. You're not that guy who works out every day. What's all this stuff about working out every day? And you've been doing this for years, and today you're not going to work out." And maybe that's a voice in your head, or maybe that's someone externally telling you things. Maybe it's a close friend. And as people, we tend to do this. You've done it. I've done it. Other people most definitely do it. We tend to shame someone else, and judge other people for something that they say they are, and then it doesn't align with their identity. So for example, if I say I quit smoking, I haven't smoked in 2 years, and I pick up a cigarette, my friend is going to be like, oh, I thought you weren't a smoker. Well, yeah, in that moment you aren't. In that moment you've broken part of your identity. But the minute you spend the next year not touching a cigarette, then you aren't really a smoker, are you? You're not a smoker. You used to be, and along the way you did something. You smoked. You broke your identity for a second. And when it becomes dangerous is when you break it again and again and again and again and again. It's like, when does the thing you don't do, or the thing you're not, the thing that doesn't align with your identity, when does that become more consistent than the thing that aligns with your identity? And then, yeah, I mean, at a certain point, you become a smoker without knowing it. So someone asks you, you smoke? Oh, not really. If they see you with a cigarette every day, then to them you're a smoker. Doesn't matter what you think. It's just, that's what you are. But if you've never smoked in your life, or you've only smoked a couple cigarettes here and there, then you are inconsistently a smoker. You've smoked. You're not a smoker. It's the same thing with working out, for example. If you've went to the gym a few times, you don't work out. You've worked out a few times. The moment you become consistent with something is the moment it becomes part of your identity. And this is what I see a lot of young teenagers have a problem with, is like, they don't know their identity, right? And I've went through this myself, not to the extent that my friends have, or people around me have, or in general teenagers have, because I've always had a very strong sense of who I am and my identity. I know that there are certain things that I will never do, and certain things that I love to do, and will most definitely do for other things, right? And I know what actions I want to put in, because I know who I am to a degree. So yeah, of course, throughout teenagehood especially, you change a lot, and you are sort of trying to find your identity. So this can be very, very dangerous. And even when you step into personal development, self-improvement, or trying to break a habit, trying to build a habit, trying to become someone who's more fit, someone who's, let's say you're trying to even make a really big achievement, like become a boxing champion, a fighter, or start a really profitable business, or start a business that changes the world. It's like all of these things are attached to the identity of your future self. And your current self has to die in order for your future self to live, to become, right? So, identity shifting. At the end of the day, that's what it is, and use this to your advantage, but be very careful how you use this, because you will reach points where the most depressive parts of your day, I think that the hardest parts of your life, if you go to think about the hardest things in your life, or the times that you were the most sad or upset or depressed, whatever, right? The most anxious. I like to think that it was when my actions didn't align with my identity. So for example, if I'm someone, I like to consider myself someone who's hardworking. If I've spent the past 3 days not working at all on the things that I want to do, and I've just been living, I guess, hedonistically, or barely doing anything all day, just consuming content, wasting time with friends, right? Then I don't feel like myself. I don't feel like my actions are aligned with my identity, and they're not. It's not even like I don't feel like it. They're not aligned with my identity. So I have this sense of like, I'm not being myself. So yeah, that's the best advice I'd give to anyone out there trying to make a massive change, or a little one. Someone that's trying to break a habit or build one. Someone who's trying to become something. If you want to build a habit, if you want to achieve a goal, if you want to become successful one day, think of the identity, not the action. The action is the most important part, and it's the thing you need to take, and it's the steps towards becoming the identity but visualize and think about who you want to become. Visualize the type of person you want to become and what he or she would do, the actions that they would take, and then take those actions. Because when you shift your identity, it's so much easier to get through the actions rather than focusing on the actions and not shifting your identity. So if you're a smoker and you're trying to become not a smoker, someone who doesn't smoke, don't focus too much on the action. Focus on the person you need to become and the actions that they would take, as if you're trying to become a completely different person. So think to yourself, I am not a smoker. And the moment you get temptation, that cigarette or that friend telling you, come on, take the cigarette, don't say, I'm trying to quit. Because that's you telling yourself that I'm not this person yet. And I understand, because you're not that person yet. Because if the day before you've been smoking for 5 years straight, then you're technically still a smoker. But today, if you want to be the guy who doesn't smoke, I don't smoke, you have to say, I'm not a smoker. I don't smoke. Not I'm trying to quit. Because that is a weak sense of identity. And usually we wait till the actions are aligned with the identity. But something that is extremely powerful, and this is why a lot of people see successful people as crazy or delusional, is because they almost speak out into existence who they're going to become before they become it. And people are like, you're delusional, you're crazy, because it's not even true. You are not the person you're saying you're going to become, or the person you say you are. And then in like 4 years' time, or even less sometimes, these people end up becoming exactly what they said they were. And it's only because that they could see the things that they're putting in every day. They could see their own geniusness or success in their mind or creativity, whatever it is, right? But the world hasn't seen it yet. And they're just telling other people, watch, I'm going to show you that I am this person. So you have to be powerful enough and brave enough to speak things into existence and shift your identity. Be very careful of this and try to think more about who do I want to become rather than what do I want to do. Even just those sentences, one is way more powerful than the other one. So I hope this was of value to anyone out there. I really wish I had someone tell me this even a few months ago, if not a few years ago. It really would have helped with understanding myself and understanding my habits and really just overall everything that has to do with talking to yourself or the conscious mind, I guess. Yeah, good luck with anything you do. Leave a comment if you want to say anything or have any thoughts about this. I'd love to hear some feedback. Of course, leave a like and subscribe. More content to come in the future.